What's going on, everybody? I am reviewing all 7 of Quentin Tarantino's films in preparation for his brand new film coming out on January 8th, The Hateful Eight. So if you've checked out my previous review, I have reviewed Kill Bill Volume 1 and now I'm about to review Kill Bill Volume 2. Yes, so this was intended to be one long movie. It was actually going to be over 4 hours long. However, they decided to split the film into 2 separate parts. So if you already haven't, definitely go check out my review of Kill Bill Volume 1, and right now we're about to dive into Volume 2. So Volume 2 actually takes a little bit of a different approach than Volume 1 did. The film starts off by showing us the actual assassination attempt on the bride's life. And basically by setting this scene, we get to see the full reason of why she is exacting revenge on Bill and the rest of the deadly assassination Viper Squad. But you know what, when talking about Kill Bill Volume 2, like I said in my previous review, this is very much a different film than Volume 1 was. Volume 1 really just thrusted you into the action. You didn't know much backstory to the bride's story and her life and also her relationship with Bill. And then from there, you pretty much just got right into the nitty-gritty of it. She was just basically going down her list to try to assassinate the people who came for her life. And there was so much action in the first movie. There were so many different kung fu martial arts film references in the movie. It was very much an homage to that style and genre of film. But Volume 2 is a little bit more of a methodical film. It dives more into the backstory and the relationship between the bride, aka Beatrix Kiddo, and Bill. We really get to see that love that existed between those two and the relationship that they had, and you know, pretty much his motivation for assassinating her or attempting to assassinate her to begin with. Not only that, we still get her on her revenge mission against all of the people part of the deadly assassination Viper Squad. So in this movie you get a lot more Michael Madsen, which is always very much enjoyable. He delivered a very good performance in this film. He was evil, he was visceral, and I just really enjoyed seeing him get what he had coming to him. The rivalry I enjoyed the most was the bride versus Ellie Driver, which was played by Daryl Hannah. She did an incredible job. She was extremely villainous. She had no remorse for what she did. While, you know, Vivica A. Fox's character in the first one had a little bit of remorse and she did it because she had to do it, Ellie Driver had no remorse and she wanted the bride, aka Beatrix Kiddo, dead. And their fight that they had in the trailer park in the movie was extraordinary. It was claustrophobic because it was such a tight space, but it was hard hitting. It was just really enjoyable to look at. Like, it looked just pound for pound, just super physical. And you just gotta mention like that this film carries that tone of violence from the first film over into this film. It's not as violent because there isn't as much action, but it still has that tone of violence, which, you know, Quentin Tarantino is known for. But this film definitely has that all throughout Volume 2. We also get some backstory to the bride's character when she goes to get trained in order to prepare for this revenge mission that she's on. You know, we get to see that backstory and her rigorous training that she went through, and I thought that was an enjoyable sequence and also a nice departure from the regular tone of the movie as well. And you know what, we finally get the final showdown between the bride and David Carradine's character Bill. And you know what, it was completely unexpected how they approached this showdown. I was completely thrown off guard by how they exactly, you know, made this happen and like what the situation was. But it was very refreshing that it wasn't a typical like showdown to stare off and they're gonna fight to the death. No, it was very much different. You gotta watch the film just to see what I'm talking about. You know, overall, as I'm wrapping this up, you know, Volume 2 is definitely a good, satisfying conclusion to this saga. I enjoy Volume 1 much more because of the action and the violence and just all of the different pop culture references and the style that's injected into the film. But this film still holds its own. It's a different film and it's different how it's approached and how it's made. But I feel like you need this film in order to really get the holistic approach to this Kill Bill phenomenon. So with all of that said, I gotta give Kill Bill Volume 2 an 8.5 out of 10. Like I said, it's very much a satisfying conclusion to this saga, and Beatrix Kiddo, aka the bride, whatever it is that you want to call her, she's one of the greatest movie characters ever created, honestly. Like, it's just brilliant. And this story, this revenge story, is simple to understand and follow, but it's just so good. In Volume 1 and Volume 2, you know, it's really one movie, but it's split into 2 parts, and it's just enjoyable overall. I feel like it's one of Quentin Tarantino's most ambitious efforts and one of his best projects thus far. Alright folks, that's all I got for my review of Kill Bill Volume 2. As always, check me out on social media, JRW the Creator, on Twitter and Instagram, and then go check out my website, jordanrwilliams.com, for more, and check out all the rest of my Quentin Tarantino movie reviews. And as always folks, I'll see you next time.